Hello, people of YouTube. My name is Steve Gray. Thank you for watching. Today we're talking about My Hero Academia, Season 7, Episode 20. Only 4 episodes left. This was a heavy Uraraka and Toga episode, and a very nice episode at that. So we start off here kind of where we ended, with Dabi essentially being defeated. Apparently, I did miss him getting his arm blown off last episode, which was why in that one kind of flashback image we see him missing an arm. I don't know how the heck I missed that, but I got caught up in the episode, but I did a rewatch of episode 19 and still very much so liked it. So we have Sad Man's Paradise doing its thing, defeating all the heroes. Not working very well. And then we have Uraraka, who just wants to talk to Toga. So she is using the famous Naruto talk no jutsu, trying to stop this. Because the reality of it is, unless she can get to Toga and talk to Toga about some things, she's not going to stop. This is going to, defeat pretty much everybody, and heroes are going to lose. There's nothing they can do about it. It is not going to slow anyone down. But she was talking about how Toga has some lack of love for some people, which is why, she's not able to use their quirks. She has to be, fully in love with them, which is why she could use Jin's quirk and Uraraka's quirk as well. We get to see some of Toga's past as well, having her go to a reform school, trying to get her to be quote-unquote normal, when, her quirk relates to blood. So she is going to obviously be fascinated with blood, being that is what her quirk entails, and she can't explore what her quirk does without sucking on other people's blood, ingesting their blood. So I kind of wish she ended up having a conversation with Stain at one point, because Stain kind of has the same, well, not the exact same ability, but he has a blood ability too, where, he can paralyze people by ingesting their blood. So it's kind of interesting. Would have been interesting to see those two meet up, in all honesty, and kind of talk about their different ideals and everything like that. But I don't think we're going to ever have that meeting, in all honesty, based off of today's episode. So it'll be interesting to see how that kind of works out. But, Toga's like, I don't get it. She doesn't understand why people aren't sucking on each other's blood all the time, because that's her normal. That's what her quirk does. That is her normal. That's kind of her mindset. So her parents, who we never actually see their faces, are terrified of her. We see this other person that she ended up killing saying, you've been masking yourself, trying to be somebody else that you're not. She ends up injuring a couple other people, getting their blood as well, then being able to transform into them too, leading to more confusion. We have her transformed into Asui here for a brief moment, but basically saying, Asui saying, I thought breaking all the rules would make someone a villain, but now we have Uraraka here, who is trying to break all the rules right now by not directly taking you down and just trying to talk to you. She should have killed you when she first met you. She didn't. She wanted some more information, so she herself has been breaking the rules, yet she is still a hero. So I think that's where that was going there. We have Toga basically said, why she joined the League of Villains. She doesn't want to mask. The reason she never chose a villain name or hero name or whatever you want to call it is because she wants to be herself. She doesn't want to be somebody else. And Toga and Shigaraki were the only two that didn't actually have villain names. And the reason behind that is because they wanted to be themselves. So Shigaraki even said, he was like, yeah, I don't mind if someone does. I don't really care. But at the same time, it's cool to have one as well. And Toga was very happy to join the League of Villains. Meanwhile, Uraraka is floating all the clones as much as she can into the air. Toga just kind of wants to kill her at this point in time, doesn't want to have this information anymore. And then she's talked about how her power is not used to hurt people. Talking about, the feeling happiness by dropping someone to the ground. She's like, when I saw your face smile, she wanted to see that face again. She wanted to talk about love, that, the first time she saw her, didn't understand why she was actually smiling. But then when she was talking about, loving Deku, and then we kind of have these kind of inner mind type things with her inner child, both Uraraka and Toga interacting with each other. Uraraka ends up getting stabbed really, really bad, starts coughing up blood. Her quirk then kind of super activates because she is close to death at this point in time. I don't think Uraraka's going to die, in all honesty, being that she is the love interest of Deku. And they're not going to kill the love interest. It's a shonen anime, so I don't think we really have to worry about Uraraka possibly dying, in all honesty. But her quirk super activates. All the Twice clones start to float in the air. Toga even trying to create more Twice clones is floating in the air because at this point, she's already touched all of them. Is able to spread it. Heroes are floating in the air as well. Everybody's off the ground. It's kind of crazy. We have one of the wild pussycats here saying that it's kind of crazy to see that she thought she had a limit of 3 tons, but now can go even beyond further than that. She finally gets a hold of Toga, talking about who she is, using the talk no jutsu as well, and she just wants to know what's on Toga's mind, like what has been happening all this time. And, kind of goes through everything, and we have the inner thoughts. Toga thinking of herself as a monster here, ready to stab Uraraka, but Uraraka previously said, she was like, you can have my blood all the time. She's like, I know I'm not going to replace the League of Villains, but, here you go. This is what you want. I want you to have it. This is your normal. So she stops, basically saying she falls in love very easily. Boy or girl, animals, doesn't really matter. It made her jealous of all the people, being happy and smiling, saying her smile was creepy. Talking about why she joined the League of Villains as well. Talking about how Deku reminded her of this one boy, but she didn't want to ask for his blood, and I think that was the first person she ended up actually killing or severely injuring. I don't remember if she actually killed that boy or not, but looks exactly like Deku, minus no green highlights in the hair. But she was like, I wanted to ask for his blood. I didn't want him to think I was creepy and weird and then think I wasn't cute, and then, all these other problems just because I wanted to try some of his blood. Is why she ended up just attacking him as well. But yeah, at the end of this, time is up here. I think Toga is in some sort of spandex. I freaking hope she's not just naked floating in the air. Based on the way the feet look in this animation, it looks like she has some sort of shoes on, so it's definitely a possibility that she has some sort of spandex bodysuit type of deal underneath, so that way she's not 100% exposed to the elements, which would make sense to me. But who the heck knows? But yeah, they end up just kind of crying, falling to the ground. All the Toga clones disappear, and at this point, Toga is defeated, and we're probably going to have some more conversation between Toga and Uraraka at the beginning of next episode, and then we are also going to see, if I go to the preview here, a fight between All Might and All for One, so that is going to be interesting. Looks like she took over some of her powers here too. As you can see, they're both kind of lying on the ground. Uraraka kind of bleeding out to a certain extent over here too. But I don't know why Toga's on the ground. She didn't get injured, to my knowledge, unless she did by falling to the ground. I really don't know what's happening here. I'm sure we'll get some more explanation on that in episode 21. But moving forward, we kind of have here, we see All for One going after All Might, and then we have a little bit of Deku fighting Shigaraki possibly next episode too. So I don't know what the hell All Might is going to do here. He has no powers. I mean, yeah, you can have some cool weapons that might stun him, hold him off for a little bit. Maybe he can hold them off long enough so that way Erie's quirk does its thing and reverses him into nothingness. Rating-wise, probably a 10 out of 10. I mean, really, really good episode. There hasn't been a bad episode of My Hero Academia since, like, early this season, I would say. There's a couple episodes where, you had Stars and Stripes show up just to die, and Shigaraki get her quirk. But kind of interesting. Sorry if I keep coughing throughout the video. I am a little sick still. Over most of it, but, it's still fighting me just a little bit, which is really, really annoying. The cold just needs to fuck off at this point in time. But yeah, 4 episodes left this season. Definitely, I think we're getting another season. There's no way they're wrapping this up in 4 episodes. I just don't see it happening. There's too many different fights going on. We still need to have a little bit of interaction with Dabi, maybe, and the Todorokis. There's going to be some interaction with Toga as well. We're going to have some interaction between All Might and All for One. Then we're going to have Shigaraki as well. I think Spinner's pretty much down for the count. Probably won't see Spinner again. And then obviously we're going to have a couple episodes to wrap everything up when the fight here is done. So it'll be interesting to see how the rest of this plays out. But thank you for watching. Hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned tomorrow for Tower of God. And until next time, have a good one.